All right, everyone, just one moment. All right, everyone, just give me a moment. My computer is working extremely slow for some reason or other, so just give me a second. All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. We go on the list of attorneys as you appear. So the first attorneys in are the first attorneys who will go. This is the 187 District Court. It is a courtroom. So no matter where you are in the 187 District Court, and you need to behave professionally. To all the inmates, you are not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back to your cells and we will take up your case later. You're not allowed to use this. No one is allowed to use this to pick up dates. You may say, why am I saying that? Because people have tried to pick up dates on this Zoom. This is not your time to do that. You need to do that on your own time. To all of the defendants and those who are accused, your attorney's name will be called. Your name will not be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom. Trust me, you will have a chance to speak with your attorney. Just one moment, everyone. All right, you will have a chance to speak with your attorney today. So don't worry. And I am not going to call your name. I'm only going to call your attorney's name. To the attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement, you need to put it in the chat box to Ferguson. She's the court coordinator, and she's listed as Ferguson coordinator. No matter how small the agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to her. Please do not text her or email her asking for a continuance, asking for a reset, asking to be excused. I'm the only person who can do that. The other thing, if you attorneys, when I call your name, if you see your name is low on the list and you want to Zoom to another court, you're more than welcome to Zoom to another court. However, if you go to another court and your name is called, we will skip over you and go to the next attorney and you will be placed at the end of the line. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. When I open up the breakout rooms, it will invite you to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you. To all of the defendants and those who are accused, your attorney is going to want to speak to the prosecutor before they speak to you. So when they go to a breakout room, they will not ask for you to be brought to a breakout room. The attorney and the prosecutor will go to that breakout room. To attorneys, please be patient with the prosecutors. As you can see, there are more defense attorneys than prosecutors. However, the prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. If you leave your breakout room, it will show to them that the breakout room is empty and they will skip over you. Think of the breakout rooms as when you go to your doctor's appointment and you think you're going back to see the doctor, but really what they're doing is checking your blood pressure and checking your weight. So this is the order in which attorneys will appear. Jody Sawyers, Kathy Starling, Raymond Martinez, Terry Carter, Joseph Appelt, Charles Bach. Just one moment. Jennifer Zarka, Orlando Castagnon, Isidro Montoya, Eric Reynolds, Nathaniel Navy, Amy Owen, Jesse Rivera, Mark Darling, Gary Churek, Frank Sandoval. Is there any attorney's name that I missed?
Gerardo Flores, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who else?
Naftali Rodriguez, Judge.
Joel
Anyone
Perez,
else?
Your Honor.
I'm sorry, who?
Joel Perez.
Oh, okay. Who else? Anyone else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, are you an attorney?
I'm sorry.
Everyone, it's like romper room. Put on your listening ears. That's what she would always say. Any other attorney's name that I have missed? All right, to the courtroom. Could you unmute, please?
Can you hear us, Judge?
No, I cannot hear. Either someone's talking very low.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Judge, obviously this is Ron Zimmerman. I was instructed on my last Zoom setting that I had an in-person trial today set in 187. So here I am.
All right. So this is what is happening. Yes, trial settings were supposed to be today. However, what has happened, and Ms. Ferguson sent out emails to everyone telling them to appear on Zoom. They did an updated schedule list. So instead of trial being for today with jury selection, everyone who's here who was scheduled for trial today, it's going to be moved to tomorrow if your client still wishes to have a trial. So everyone just give me a moment. First person up, Jody Sawyers. Who do you have? All right, to the courtroom. For some reason, the volume is extremely low in the courtroom. I cannot hear anyone, or either people are whispering. I am unable to hear the courtroom. And everything was working well before we had things with IT to come down in the courtroom yesterday. So I can't hear people in the courtroom.
Judge, it seems like Ms. Sawyers may be muted.
Can you hear us now?
Yes,
Okay, and this is Jody Sawyers. Can you hear me?
yes.
Perfect. We're here with Patrick Benson, and Terry Carter and I are working together. She is on your list, I guess, about third down. So when you're ready to do the PSI, we're ready to proceed.
All right. My understanding is that you have a trial in another court. Is that correct?
That is correct. We're picking a jury in County Court Law number 8, which is now in County Court at Law number 11's jury room.
All right. So let's, is your client in custody? Where is Patrick Benson?
He's in the courtroom behind us.
All right, Mr. Benson, if you can come forward, please.
Step back, just you're tall.
All right, and to the state, this is a family violence.
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 4996, State of Texas versus Patrick Jeremy Benson. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia for the state.
For the defense?
Terry Carter for defense.
All right, we're proceeding with the sentencing by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
The court will note for the record that the defendant entered his plea by video on April 5th, 2021. The court found that there was sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty, and the court found the defendant guilty of the offense of assault, choking family. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. The state will remain silent on his application for probation or deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the state is silent. Defense?
Your Honor, if I may, you had requested that the complainant appear on the Zoom today. Can I ask to check if Ms. Mayfield is present? Chantel Mayfield.
Yes. Are you
Yes,
Ms.
I'm here.
Mayfield? Yes, Ms. Mayfield is present.
We also have a character witness, Ms. Little. She should have just logged on.
Yes, I'm present.
Are you listed on the Zoom screen?
I don't see myself on the Zoom screen, Your Honor. I'm not sure what it's listed as, but Lillian Little is my name.
I believe she's wearing a blue floral blouse, Judge.
All right. Defense, you may proceed.
We would like to call Ms. Mayfield.
All right, Ms. Mayfield, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record, please.
Chantel Mayfield.
Judge, may I proceed?
Yes.
Ms. Mayfield, are you the complaining witness in the case against Mr. Benson?
Yes.
And have you had interviews with the state in this case during the pendency of his case?
Yes.
Okay, and have you expressed to the state that you wish for Mr. Benson to be given probation?
Yes, I have.
Can you explain why you'd like for him to be given probation?
Yes, because the incident that happened that night, he did come in the house and went straight to sleep. I feel like I kind of instigated the altercation by waking him up out of his sleep. And, part of it is my responsibility for what happened that night. And I was just trying to, I don't think he deserved, jail time for something that I instigated. And that, that was just my opinion and why I said that.
And do you and Mr. Benson have a child together?
Yes, I did not know I was pregnant at the time. I was hormonal because I did something I wouldn't normally do, which was, pick at Mr. Benson. And since then, I have had his daughter.
Okay, and how old is she?
She is now 9 months.
And has Mr. Benson had access to the child?
By way of family members only. He doesn't get to, I guess, interact with his daughter like a normal father because she doesn't really know him too much. She cries a lot. So, it's and I kind of feel responsible for that as well because, he would have a better relationship with his daughter if it wasn't for this case.
Okay, and is there currently a no contact order between you and Mr. Benson?
Yes, there is.
And is that why visitation has been difficult?
That is correct because she would be more calm if I was there.
Is that because you tend to be the primary parent?
That is correct.
And are you asking the court that if Mr. Benson is given probation, that the no contact order be removed?
Yes, that is correct.
And is that in order to promote the family unit, the relationship within your family unit?
That is correct. Patrick Benson is a good father, and I want him to have that father-daughter bond that, our daughter deserves. This just to build that relationship with his new daughter.
Do you feel that Mr. Benson is a danger to you or your daughter?
No.
Okay, I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Stay.
Judge, we're silent, but I just have a factual clarification questions, if I may proceed.
Yes.
So just to clarify, you feel responsible for the fact that he threw you on the ground?
No, I said I feel responsible for the start of the altercation. And I mean, that was pretty much it, just the start. It wouldn't have been an altercation had we just spoke like adults the next morning. But the fact that I woke him out of his sleep to start the altercation is what I take responsibility for.
Okay, but after that, there was an assault, right?
Yes, it was.
And he did throw you on the ground?
He didn't throw me on the ground. He pulled, I was walking away and he pulled my hair and I fell to the ground.
Okay, and he also choked you?
He wasn't intentionally trying to choke me. Let me make that clear. He was pretty much trying to stop me from leaving because I woke him up to talk to him. Then when he started talking, I started trying to get away. And he did not want me to leave without talking it through. And being that I was very hormonal at the time, I did not allow him to talk to me and talk it through. So that's why, that's how the choking incident happened. He was trying to talk to me and I wasn't, and I was trying to flee.
Okay, but you told the police that he choked you with one hand, right?
What, with his hand?
With
I
the
did
one
not say he
hand.
choked me with his hand. I said that he was trying to choke, he was trying to stop me from leaving, and he used, like, I don't know if it was his arm or his forearm. And, you know, and at one point I could not breathe.
Okay. Your Honor, I just refer back to the stipulated evidence and the PSI. No further questions.
All right, any further questions, defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense, call your next witness.
We'd like to call Ms. Little.
All right, Ms. Little, if you can raise your right hand for me, please. You solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, state your name for the record, please.
Lillian Little.
All right, defense.
Good morning, Ms. Little. Thank you for appearing today. Can you tell us how you know Mr. Benson?
Yes, I'm a client of Mr. Benson's.
And by client, what does that mean? What service does he provide you?
He provides auto detailing service for me. So I've hired him to detail my vehicle and clean my vehicle.
Okay, and how long have you known Mr. Benson?
I've known him for a little over a year.
And would you say that you're friends as well as having that work relationship?
Yes, I would.
Have you had an opportunity to, get to know Mr. Benson, who he is as a person?
Yes, I have.
And has Mr. Benson shared with you things that have happened to him in his life?
Yes, he has.
Okay. And Ms. Little, what do you do for a living?
I'm a caseworker with Child Protective Services.
And how long have you been a licensed caseworker?
I've been a licensed social worker for about 7 years, and I've been with the department for about 7 years.
Okay, so is it fair to say that you have a pretty good ability to decipher certain things regarding a person's need for rehabilitation?
Yes, ma'am, I would say I do.
Okay, and in your conversations with Patrick, have you ever discussed with him him seeking treatment?
Yes, we have. I have discussed that with him.
And why do you believe Mr. Benson needs treatment?
I feel that at times Mr. Benson might be self-medicating, and I was just a little concerned about some of the things that were going on in his life where he would maybe self-medicate and just try to numb some of the feelings and the pain that he was going through at the time.
Would you agree, based on the conversations you've had with Mr. Benson, that he had a traumatizing childhood?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it your opinion that he self-medicates in order to deal with some of the trauma that he's experienced?
Yes, I believe so.
And has he ever indicated to you that he has had treatment in the past?
He has not. He indicated to me that he has not had treatment.
Okay. Are you aware of the facts that are alleged in this particular case?
I am.
And are you aware that Mr. Benson has pled no contest to those allegations?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe that Patrick Benson is a danger to society?
No, I do not.
I have no further questions of Ms. Little.
All right, any questions?
None from the state.
We would ask that the witness be released, Judge.
All right, the court will hear argument. Defense?
Judge, if I may, I had previously submitted to the court a certificate of completion for the batter's intervention prevention program that Mr. Benson has completed. I would like the court to take notice of that certificate of completion. Additionally, after reviewing the TAP evaluation in the PSI, it is apparent that Mr. Benson has never received any treatment for his substance abuse. There is also an indication in the PSI as well as the TAP that he would benefit from counseling regarding sex addiction. Mr. Benson was not previously receptive to treatment, which was indicated in these reports. After reviewing these reports, he has made the conscious decision that he does have a problem and that these issues are going to continue if he does not get treatment. He has already completed orientation with Miss Barbara Curtis for intensive outpatient treatment, which is also recommended in the TAP evaluation. So we are asking the court at this time to grant our application for probation and allow Mr. Benson the opportunity to address these underlying issues so that he can continue to run his own business and be a part of his children's lives.
All right, Mr. Benson, I have some questions for you. Can you step forward, please?
Yes.
Your Honor, I apologize. When he steps forward, I think he gets cut off of the screen.
Oh, sure, no problem. If you can back a little bit, please. Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Step back one more time. So one more step. There you go. Okay, perfect.
Solemnly swear, affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. I'm reading throughout the PSI report that you don't accept responsibility. So let me ask you this. What was your responsibility in all of this?
My hands on Chantal Mayfield when I shouldn't have.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I can't hear what you're saying. What did you say?
You continue to speak up.
Just speak up.
I put my hands on Chantal Mayfield when I shouldn't have.
What does that mean? You put your hands on somebody? I put my hands on somebody almost every day. I shake their hands. I give them a fist bump, but I'm not in felony court for charges. So what does that mean?
I violently put my hands on her that night.
I violently put my hands on somebody every day. Either I give them a fist bump. Sometimes people want to hug, and mind you, I only do that when they've had their COVID shot and they have on their mask. So I'm putting that out there for everybody. So I'm still very careful. So I do that every day, but I'm not in felony court charged with assault, family violence, choking, strangulation. So let's stop using terms that you're trying to minimize what you have done. Because you're here for assault, choking, strangulation. And I know the complainant is taking responsibility. And I personally think that she needs to see a counselor to be taking responsibility for someone who put their hands on her. So you want to explain to me, what responsibility are you taking in all of this? Because your attorney told me you did the BIPP course. Part of that is realizing what you did wrong. So what did you do wrong?
I did realize what I did wrong. I choked her.
Okay. And why is this happening?
And I choked her.
Okay. And then people, I see somewhere in the report where they're blaming this on an age difference. She's 46, you're in your 20s. Does age difference have anything to do with you choking somebody?
No, ma'am, I never said that.
Well, I mean, I'm reading the report. It says you're minimizing your role in it, and it appears that the complainant is helping you minimize your role in all of this. So what have you done and what have you learned so that this won't happen again in another relationship?
First, I have to fix myself. I have to address the issues I have within myself. I've had problems that I've been hiding my entire life.
And I know your attorney mentioned sex addiction, but there are plenty of people who may or may not have a sex addiction. They don't go around choking people.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
That's not consensual. So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
It's gonna be positive.
For what?
I drink alcohol and
And what?
I smoke marijuana occasionally.
And what else?
That's it, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you. I'll give you your deferred adjudication. The complainant wants you to have deferred adjudication. The state is silent. 3 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine, that'll be probated. There's to be no contact with Shante Mayfield. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Take into consideration 2020 CR 2861. You're going to be tested for levels. Those levels had better start going down. After he gives a negative UA, Rebecca, then it'll be random UAs. There will be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Parenting classes. The BIPP course, if he's completed that, Rebecca, and provides proof of that, that will be acceptable to the court. Field visits. Random, 2 times per month. 100 hours of community service restitution. So the witness testified that you detail cars. Is this some sort of business or do you work for another company?
I started the business 2 years ago, ma'am.
All right, proof of employment. Within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider with minors. And Rebecca, I guess if they have some sort of therapy for sex addiction, see if you can get him into some kind of therapy for sex addiction. And if he already has a therapist for that, then he's continue with therapy. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Benson, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Well, Your Honor, I do need to clarify on that a couple of things. I didn't hear you say intensive outpatient treatment. I may have missed it.
He's doing UAs. Mr. Benson, do you need treatment for drugs?
He has already registered for intensive outpatient treatment and is starting it. So.
All right, so I'll put down intensive outpatient treatment. Thank you, Ms. Sawyers.
Yes, Your Honor. And then also I have a question about communications. When you say no contact, can we have a carve out that allows for communications on an app? It's like Our Family Wizard. I can't remember what the free one is. Close app that allows them to communicate regarding the child, and also that will allow for supervised visits with the child, but not in the presence of the mother. Maybe it's like a family member or some other option like that. But the only communication they can have would be regarding the child and over, this app close.
No, he'll have to do that through a third party. I'll see how he does on probation and I may consider later, but for now he needs to do that through a third party.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Benson, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it? Mr. Benson?
Yes.
Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
And also because this is a affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Probation will go over conditions with you. And with that, we'll close the record. And Mr. Benson,
Yes, ma'am.
I heard the complainant try to take responsibility for you hitting her. It's all on you. Somebody waking you up is not a free range for you to hit them. You understand?
Yes.
Somebody questioning if you're cheating on them is not a free range for you to hit them. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, I'm sending you to breakout room number 1. And after that, you're excused. And Ms. Sawyers, you can go to number 1 with your client if you so choose. Otherwise, you're excused as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Terry Carter. Oh, you're with them. All right. Charles Bonk.
Hi, Judge. If you can make me co-host, Christian Newman here, I'll start jumping into breakout rooms with attorneys.
Thank you. All right, some of you have been placed in breakout rooms. If you could go back to your breakout room and the state will meet you there. All right, Charles Bonk. Jennifer Zorka.
Your Honor, Amy Owen for Jennifer Zarka. We have the same case. Derek Garcia, he's present on the Zoom, Your Honor.
And is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It's criminal trial division. We were conferring with Joe Ray at the previous setting.
Okay, then that's family violence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you're saying Joe
Hybrid,
Ray.
I think. It's interference with child custody. So I'm sorry, I guess it is Joe Ray.
No problem. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And Joel Perez, if you'll go to 6, please.
Judge,
Judge,
make me
I'm
co-host,
the
please.
special prosecutor for Hoel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ah, that is you. Okay. Charles Bonk, let me find you. Just 1 second. Charles, can you say something so I can see you on the screen, please?
Yes, Judge, something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've conferred with Hoel. I believe he's going to file a motion for competency. So that's our announcement.
All right, just 1 moment. Is your client in custody or on bond, Joel?
He's on bond, Your Honor.
All right. This case is old. Mr. Reyes, where are you?
I'm here,
Right.
Your Honor.
All right, you need to show your video.
Okay, there you go.
All right, Mr. Perez, are you following the motion for competency or do you wish the court to follow it?
No, I already drafted it, Your Honor. It's going to be e-filed this morning.
All right, Norma, when can we call back for an update on his competency? And Norma, can you make sure that it is expedited, please?
We can call it back in 30 days. Give me 1 second, Judge. Let me bring up the. We can call it back on. Where did it be on? July 7th.
All right, we'll see you back on July 7th.
Judge, just to make sure that that the court is aware, I'm starting a death penalty case on July the 12th in the 379th,
All right.
just so the court is aware.
All right, thank you. That's it. That's to see whether or not the competency has been completed.
Sure thing, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Orlando Castagnon.
Yes, Judge.
Yes,
I'm here on
sir.
Antonio Perez, the CTD.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Judge, when you get a chance, can you make me a co-host, please?
Yes. Isidro Montoya.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Fine, Judge. Mr. Gonzalez, I represent Ernest Gonzalez. He's supposed to be in person at the courtroom.
All right, and what is the charge? Criminal trial division? Family violence?
It's a depth judge. It's a criminal trial division.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Eric Reynolds.
Yes, Judge, good morning.
Good morning. Who do you have?
I've got Adam Cordova, Judge. It's an aggravated robbery with criminal trial division. My client is on bond, Judge. I do believe he has a judge's warrant out and a warrant for his arrest, Judge. I've had no contact with him.
All right. If you want to go to 8 and just give me a moment, I give everyone till 10:30.
Yes, ma'am.
You can zoom back in at 10:30 if you so choose, or you can remain here until 10:30.
Sounds good, Judge. Thank you.
Sure. Nathaniel Navy.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
My client, Stellano Daniels, he's present in the courtroom. Last week, we had a plea for time, and today was just his day to turn himself into the court.
Okay, just give me one moment. We'll take that right up. All right, is there a Stellano Daniels in the courtroom?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
All right, could you have him come forward, please? Is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Judge. Christian Newman.
All right, the court is going to call 2019 CR 11380, State of Texas versus Stellano Daniels. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Christian Newman for the state of Texas.
For the defense?
Nathaniel Navy for the defense, Your Honor.
Right, and are you Mr. Daniels?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. The court will note this is one of the days the court is allowed to have in-person hearings. Any objections to us proceeding with sentencing by video, state?
No objection.
Defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Daniels, do you have any objections with us proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement you reached on May 27th, the state proceeded on count 3 only. The state waived counts 1, 2, and 4, and the enhancement without objection. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years, and there are other conditions as well. Are you ready to proceed with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Navy, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I would just ask that you follow the plea agreement. My client takes responsibility and that you grant him any credit for time that he served before he bonded out in this case.
All right. Court will follow your agreement. Mr. Daniels, I appreciate you showing up and appearing. Sometimes people don't. The court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, restitution, if any, to Kristen, Kristen, Moore, Moore. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, no contact with Kristen Moore. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either party, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense? No, Your Honor.
Mr. Daniels, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you have a chance to review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And also, because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, and because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. With that, we'll go off the record. Mr. Daniels, I know going to prison is no fun for anyone and people think certain things, but I want you to take this time to work on yourself, okay? Good luck to you, Mr. Daniels.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
Maybe
welcome.
excuse.
Yes, thank you, Nathaniel. Will we see you tomorrow, Nathaniel?
Nope.
We see you every day. It's a good thing, though.
I'm glad. Well, have a good weekend, Judge.
All right, thank you. You too. Jesse Rivera. Jesse Rivera.
I'm right here, Judge.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Good morning. I have Adrian De Leon, Judge.
Is it criminal violence? I mean,
It is.
criminal child division or family violence?
Family violence, Judge. I'd need a breakout room with a prosecutor, Your Honor.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8.
Okay.
And Deputy Laura, is there another attorney in the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor, he is here.
All right, and who's the attorney in the courtroom?
That's me, that's me, Judge, Ron Zimmerman. I just need a little clarification. Did you instruct me to appear tomorrow on
Yeah. Who's your client?
Michael Hernandez?
All right, do you need to confer with the state again or no?
Wouldn't hurt, but I can do that this afternoon.
Oh, I mean, you're here, the state is here. Are you coming back this afternoon?
No, I thought I might just do that by email.
All right, no, everyone's here now. So I'm going to send the courtroom to breakout room. Courtroom, could you go to breakout room number 2?
Yes, Judge.
And to the state, could someone go to 2 and speak with Ron Zimmerman, please?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Mark Darling, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have Angie Ford. This was set for trial today. The burglary, it's with the Criminal Trial Division. I've been working with Marcus Sanders, but since the last court date, a new case was unsealed and for which he has a warrant, a drug case. I communicated with her. I sent her an email to the address we've been using, but I've gotten no response from her.
All right, Deputy Laura, is there Angie Ford in the courtroom?
Morning, Moffett. No, Your
Probably,
Honor.
let me speak to Monica.
All right, if you want to come back at 10:30, Mr. Darling, we'll see if your client shows up.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Gary Churak?
There we go. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, who do you have?
Sebastian Zamora. I believe it's family violence.
Let me check and see.
Hey, Jade.
Thank you. No, it's a criminal trial division.
Okay.
I'll send you to breakout room. Let me see what is open. I'll send you to breakout room number 9.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Frankie Sandoval.
Good morning, Your Honor. Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Mr. Pouch, Aaron Pouch, a recall from yesterday for a plea.
Okay. And I see your client is on screen. Have you received the paperwork?
No, Your Honor, we have not.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room, or if you could put in the chat box, whichever prosecutor you were working with, let them know that there is a plea and they'll get all the paperwork for you.
I'm working on his paperwork right now.
All right, thank you. I'm going to send you, Frankie, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm going to send Mr. Pouch to number 10. Aaron Pouch, if you could go to breakout room number 10, please.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Gerardo Flores.
Right here, Judge.
I didn't roll my R's, but I came close.
It gets better every time, Judge.
All right, what is your client's name?
I'm here on Jimmy Wood.
and we're set for sentencing. He pled last week and he was supposed to show up in person. I can't tell if he's there in the courtroom, Judge.
All right. Deputy Laura, is there a Jimmy Wood in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll give your client till 10:30.
Can I log out, Judge, and come back at 10:30?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Naftali Rodriguez.
Yes, Judge. I'm on Machuca. This case was recalled from earlier this week about a transfer. My client is excused for today. I don't know if you recall that, Judge.
Yes, just give me one moment, okay? Norma, can you check on that to see if that's been transferred to another court?
It hasn't been yet, Judge. They had to be coded as co-defendants, and I sent an email this morning to our staff to do that. And Norma knows as soon as that's done, then, because I think that's all she was waiting for is they weren't coded as co-defendants, so
yes,
do the transfer paperwork.
All right, Naftali, could you zoom back in at 10:30, please, and we'll see if that's done.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I just want to make sure you know where the case is, where it lands.
Sure, absolutely.
Joe Stenberg. Joe Stenberg.
Howdy.
Howdy. Who do you have?
Mr. Alexander, first name Gregory, and it'd be a family violence, I believe. It's aggravated sexual assault of a child.
All right, that's family violence. I will send you to breakout room number 11.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jackson Lindsay.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. What do you have?
Yeah, Jesse Santoria for sentencing today.
Is your client on bond or in custody?
He's in custody.
All right, is there a prosecutor available on Mr. Jesse Santoria?
Judge, is it an agreed?
Yes.
Yes, I'm available.
Thank you. All right, the court is going to call 2019 CR 3154, State of Texas versus Jesse Joe Santoria. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Morris for the state.
For the defense?
Jackson Lindsay on behalf of Mr. Santoya.
We're proceeding by video with the sentencing because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None from the state.
Any objections from the defense?
No.
Yes. All right, Mr. Santoria, could you unmute yourself for me, please? Do you have any objection with the sentencing taking place by video?
No, Your Honor.
And the court will note for the record that the defendant entered a plea on May 27, 2021 of no contest, and he did that by video and consented to appear by video. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There are no applications, and the state will take 2 cases in consideration. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Other than we just asked the court to follow a plea bargain agreement, Judge.
All right, as previously stated, on May 27th, the court found the defendant guilty. The court found the enhancement true. The court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration 2019 CR 3155, County Court Cause number 640329. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
None from the state, Judge.
No, Judge, nothing further from defense.
Mr. Santoria, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Judge.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, do you understand because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you, Mr. Santoria.
Thank you.
All right, let me ask you a question before you go. The tattoos above the eyebrows, did that hurt?
It kind of felt good, like vibration.
And the neck tattoo, did that hurt or no?
Just the ones on the back of my neck.
Okay. All right. Have a good one. Mr. Santoria, you're young. You can still do great things. But if you continue on this road, you know you're going to end in and out of prison. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm done already. Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Santoria. Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Santoria can go back? Mr. Lindsay, thank you for appearing.
Thank you, Judge. May I be sent to a breakout room with a family violence prosecutor?
All right. Just one moment. Who is your client?
I have a client not on docket today, but I filed a motion to amend conditions of bond from no contact to no harmful injurious, and I'm waiting response from them.
All right. Just give us a moment. Let me get with the other attorneys first, and then I'll come back to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Angela Blake. Angela Blake. Lisa Voigt.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Jeremy Dennis,
And is it family violence or criminal trial division?
criminal trial. I've conferred already with Mr. Sanders. May I go into a breakout room with my client?
Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond.
All right, Mr. Dennis, if you'll go to breakout room number 12, your attorney will meet you there.
I'm sorry, Judge, I think I froze when you called me.
All right, who do you have, Ms. Blake?
Sean Smith,
Is it family violence or criminal trial division?
criminal trial.
All right, I'm sending you to lucky breakout room number 13. You'd be surprised. Everyone wants that room.
I do have one issue, Judge.
Yes.
I have not made contact with him, nor has his bondsman.
All right, well, I give everyone till 10:30 if you want to zoom out and zoom back in.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn Whitland.
Good morning, Judge. I have Matthew Burke, and it is family violence.
Okay. How are the puppies doing?
You know, they just are up on the site for adoption, and we haven't put one up, but they're doing great. They're just about to go to new homes, so it's it's bittersweet because it's, you know, I mean, you can't have puppies for a couple months and not grow to love them. So
yeah,
but they're doing good.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm gonna send you to lucky breakout room number 13. That's the lucky breakout room.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right. Any attorney whose name
Yes.
I did not call. Yes.
Judge, sorry, Judge, I'm back from a breakout room. I got a plea at 10 o'clock, but I've conferred with Marcus in regards to Antonio Perez.
Yes.
And we had talked in regards to a trial setting. I thought we were supposed to be on last week's docket so we could set it, and it was not. So Norma put us on for today's docket.
All right, Mr. Antonio Perez, could you unmute yourself? All right, are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, have you tendered an offer to your client? Mr. Castagnon?
Judge, I don't believe we've actually been given one. I can't recall if we've been given one.
All right, so this is what I need today. This is an old case. I need to have an offer tendered from the state. Let me see where Marcus Sanders is. Marcus, could you go back to breakout room number 6 and give an offer to Mr. Castagnon, please? So if you all will head back to number 6. Robert Guyana.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Christian Reyna, Judge.
Family Violence and Criminal Trial Division.
CTD, Judge.
I'll send you to breakout room number 14.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Judge.
Yes.
Judge, I think you called me. I was in a breakout room with Marcus. I think he dragged me in there and didn't allow me to answer. So I was here. But anyway, I need to get back to confer with him some more. But before I go, Judge, if we don't reach an agreement, he tells me we're on the lineup for tomorrow. Do we just appear at 9 in the morning at court?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So if you'll go back to breakout room number 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Joe Stenberg, you're back.
Well, nobody ever appeared. I waited 10 minutes.
Okay. You wait longer than 10 minutes when you're seeing your doctor. There are more defense attorneys than there are prosecutors.
I just need to know what I'm supposed to do. I just go back and relax, put my feet
just
up.
relax. Yes.
All right.
And then try to think happy thoughts. So when they come in to check your blood pressure, it's not high.
Oh, never.
Yeah. So if you're waiting at 11, a prosecutor will get there.
Thank you, boss. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Approach, Your Honor. Fernando Ramos.
Yes.
Judge, we were here yesterday. My client had not been ordered. He's now present in the courtroom. It's a family violence case. We talked with family violence prosecutor yesterday.
Who's your client?
I'm sorry, Judge. It's Romel McKay.
What's the cause number?
The cause number, he's got 3 cases, Judge. The family violence assault case is 083224.
There are 9 cases, Judge.
Okay. So is the inmate here, Norma?
Yes, ma'am. He's under 14F.
Okay. All right. Have you conferred with the state, Mr.
We
Rollins?
have, Your Honor.
I'm busy. I'll get back with you in a moment.
So what's happening with?
Well, there is a new case that I have not been assigned as yet, so I don't have any information. The ADA looked for a report and couldn't find one yesterday. With the issue that we would like to approach is the remand without bond on the present assault case, Judge.
All right. It appears that he's remanded without bond is because he keeps picking up assault cases and violations of protective orders. Am I wrong in that?
There is a violation of protective order, Judge. You're correct. The new case is something unusual about it. He was arrested at his own house after the complainant came to his house. But other than that, I don't have any other information. I haven't been assigned to that case as yet, Judge.
Well, have you conferred with the state about
We have.
the remand without bond?
We have, Judge. At this point, they're not inclined to back off that until they have more information on the new case.
Well, if you talk with Ms. Ferguson, we can set it for a hearing. The state can call their witnesses. And you can call whatever witnesses you would like if you would like to call witnesses.
That'd be fine, Judge.
All right, Norma, when can we set this for a hearing on the remand without bond on Mr. Romel? Can we set it sometime next week, please?
Yes, ma'am. It would have to be sometime next week, either Monday or Wednesday.
All right, Monday or Wednesday.
Monday be fine, Judge. It could be the 7th.
Yes, the 7th or the 9th.
All right, I think, are you okay with the 9th?
If it's 9th, that'd be fine, Judge. That's even better.
All right, Norma, let's set this for a hearing on June 9th.
At what time, Judge?
Norma, what time?
Are you gonna have witnesses?
Yes.
In the afternoon at 2 o'clock.
All right, we'll see you at 2 p.m. Mr. McKay, could you unmute yourself, please? Mr. McKay, you see the longest bar on your keyboard? That's a space bar. Press down on it. It's the longest bar that's on the keyboard. And see, this is why they should not have done away with typing in school. Everyone take note. Schools take notes. All right, do you see something that pops up asking you to unmute? All right, are you able to hear me, Mr. McKay? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. We're gonna bring you back on June 9th. We'll have a hearing on your remand without bond. Do you understand? All right, thank you. All right, we'll see you then, Mr. Ramos. Norma, can you let them know that 14F can go back?
Also, Judge, if I could be appointed on the new case.
All right, if you'll, Ms. Ferguson will take care of that.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, Ron Zimmerman.
Yes, Judge, I just need further instructions on Mr. Hernandez. It was set for trial today. I understand that we do have a setting tomorrow on this case.
Yes.
Does that need to be in person or by
Yes.
Zoom?
No,
In
it's
person?
in person. And what is your client's first name?
Michael.
Yes, that will be a jury trial. And so for everyone who's here, we were scheduled and the court received the email notice that jury trial for us was to take place today. But then we received an updated email saying that jury selection would actually happen on Friday. So Ms. Ferguson sent out emails to everyone saying, show up on Zoom today. So your jury trial will actually take place on Friday. So Mr. Zimmerman, if you will be back, please, tomorrow at 9 a.m. in person in the courtroom.
And I will do, Judge. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for coming in.
Your Honor.
Just one moment.
Sure.
Everyone, just give me a moment, please.
Does anyone want to confer on a CTD case?
I would like to, Mr. Newman.
I'll put you in a breakout room.
Thank you, sir.
He's in breakout room number 7, Christian. He can go back there.
Judge, there's a family law prosecutor there.
No, there's
So-
nobody there.
Okay, I'll go back to the.
No
Thank
problem.
you, Judge.
All right, anyone else back from breakout room or anyone else ready?
Yes, Judge. Gary Chirek here. I need to
Yeah,
speak.
just one second, Gary. Yes,
Okay.
Norma?
Did you get my chat?
Okay, put the mouse button.
Oh, yeah.
What's your last name, bro?
Earlier.
David Hernandez, could you unmute for me, please?
Right. And there's no way to do that because I'm not a flight. So this is you, right?
Mr.
And
Hernandez.
this one here, this tab, is you too.
Mr. Hernandez? Are you able to hear? All right, he's having problems with his system. All right, Amy Owen.
Yes, Your Honor. Right back from the breakout room, we conferred, we're ready for trial.
All right, on Derek Garcia. Let me look at what we have available. Norma, do you have an idea of what we have available for trial dates with Derek Garcia? It will be in July, Miss Owen. Norma, is July 22nd available or
July
something
7th.
else?
July 7th.
July 7th, okay. Miss Owen, we will put you down for jury trial on July 7th. You and your client will need to appear in court at 9 a.m.
Judge, is there any possible way it could be the 14th?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay,
these are the dates that we have.
okay. I'll make it work. Thank you. Maybe.
All right, thank you. All right, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Everyone, just give me a moment. All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Your Honor, Gary Chirek.
Yes.
Can I be in hookup with my client? I have an offer from the state and I need to talk to him about it.
Who's your client?
Sebastian Zamora.
Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond. He should be.
Sebastian Zamora, where are you?
He was in the courtroom. He probably stepped out. We're going to go check, Judge.
All right, thank you. Joseph Appel?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Tapia, I believe, is in the courtroom. I need to convey the state's offer to him. I do not believe we're going to need a trial. I just need to confirm with him what we're doing and then get back with you, Judge. So it shouldn't take long.
All right, just give me one moment.
Your Honor, Mr. Zamora is here.
All right, Mr. Zamora, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney. If you could go to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
And then Joseph Appelt, as soon as he's done, I'll put you in breakout room number 1 with your client.
Thank you, Judge. Oh, and by the way, Judge, they don't teach typing, they teach keyboarding now.
Oh, see, a rose by any other name is still the same. Brenda, it will still smell as sweet and it will still have thorns.
They just don't get the pleasure of slamming the carriage return back.
Oh my gosh, I started out on a manual and then we got the electric and then they started doing word processors. Some of these people don't even know what a floppy disk is. Brenda, one of my assignments with the floppy disk was to put in code, and when you hit the right keys, a flower was supposed to appear. So this is what we did on floppy disk. Jackson Lindsay, who did you're off docket. Who is your client off docket?
His name is Adam Gross. I have a SID number or a cause number, whatever the court needs.
What is the last name? How do you spell it?
Groce.
And what's the case number?
It's a night mag. 613076.
And is it family violence or criminal child abuse?
It's family violence.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, this is Hunter.
Yes.
You remember on those floppy disks, you could lock the disk?
Yes.
My teachers never knew that. You could lock it, and they couldn't figure out why it wasn't working.
But that was only on the 3.5-inch discs, not the 5 1/4. I'm old.
But Hunter, you are doing well in Jordan Brown's spot. You know about the floppy disk. Jordan used to know about all the movies. So I'm glad you recognize floppy disk.
I used to collect all the neon colors.
All right, Robert Guyona.
Hey, Judge. I don't know if Mr. Reyna may be in the courtroom.
All right, is there a Christian Reyna in the courtroom? We shall find out.
Thank you, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
He's not there.
Okay, Judge. Well, I have some new info to talk to him about. I sent him the email.
Well, if you want to zoom out and zoom back in and see if he appears.
I'll do that, Judge, and I'll see if I can give him a call. And when was your deadline time
Deadline for?
appearing?
Oh, I give them till 10:30.
I'm pretty sure you told him to appear in person.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll give him a call and then I'll zoom back in, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge, this is Carolyn Wetland, and I have been in that lucky breakout room number 13 for a while, and I'm just wondering, are your family violence prosecutors in other breakout rooms, or?
Yes, and they're working their way through.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome. Anyone else back from the breakout room? Mr. David Hernandez, could you unmute for me, please? You see where it's asking you to unmute?
Unmute, okay.
Hi, Mr. Hernandez, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Why are you smoking on Zoom?
Well, because I have problems. I just got low rich, and she put me in jail, and I didn't do nothing. But
No, Michael, nope. I want you to listen. Time out. Listen to the question that I'm asking of you.
Okay.
Why are you smoking a cigarette on Zoom?
I don't know I don't know. I was just stressed out. I've been raped, as every time the hospitals I get raped, and they broke my face in jail, and people just pick on me here. And this is what happened. I'm telling the truth. They put acid before I got to jail on purpose because people don't like me around here. And I'm on acid. I'm trying to, and that's why I went to jail, because they put
So you're
acid.
on acid?
No, when I went to jail, people are mean.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just give us a moment, Mr. Hernandez.
That's what happened. It scared me.
Oh, sure. No problem. Just a second, Mr. Hernandez. All right, this is David Anthony Hernandez, Gary Churick's client. Just give us a moment, Mr. Hernandez. Take your time. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. So, Mr. Hernandez, I want you to take a seat. Find a place to sit down. All right, and just take deep breaths, okay? So just give us a moment. Lisa Voigt, you're back.
Yes, may I confer with Marcus for 1 minute?
Yes. Let me find out where you were. If you'll go back to breakout room number 12. And Marcus, if you could go to number 12, if you're available, please.
Yeah, so. Yeah, or you do either. Hi. That'll start. I take almost nothing.
Judge, can I see you in the breakout room for just a?
Yes.
Well, the last time they said we were gonna do one of those.
I'll see you in number 3. All right, everyone, just give me a moment, please.
Eric, can you go to room 9?
All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Your Honor, Lisa Boyd, I'm back.
Yes.
We have an agreement to do a plea in front of you open. Can we do it tomorrow?
No, we have to take the plea today because tomorrow, anybody who hasn't entered their plea, they're going to jury trial.
Okay. I have to be in Beeville by 12.
All right, if you guys get the paperwork done, I'll do it.
Okay.
Mr.
Can we do it
Hernandez.
this afternoon? Can we do it this afternoon?
Well, I mean, are you driving to Beeville?
Yes, ma'am. I guess
What's
I
so
can't.
funny? What's funny?
There's a non-zero chance she'll be driving to Beeville.
No, okay.
I was just, it's a short prison visit, very short.
Okay.
You have to be I'm not drug tested. You have to be COVID tested before you enter the premises or visit with your client.
Okay. All right, so you guys want to, I mean, how far is the drive?
It's an hour and a half.
All right.
So I'd be back by 2:30 or 3.
Okay. If you can have the paperwork ready for her, and is your client on bond or in custody?
He's on bond, Your Honor.
Mr. Jeremy Dennis, where are you?
I'm right here, ma'am.
All right, so your attorney is telling the court that there's an agreement that it's been worked out. Are you able to zoom back in at 2?
I have to go pay my monitor. They're allowing me to leave from 1 to 2:45 to pay my monitor, and I gotta cash a check so I can pay my rent.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to do this plea now. I'm sorry, Lisa. Can you guys get the paperwork ready for her? And Lisa, as soon as it's done, I'll take you guys right up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Lisa, they'll need your client's email address.
Okay.
And then if you guys both would go back to breakout room number 12. Everyone, let's keep today a Thursday. Let's not try to turn it into a Monday. All right, is Isidro Montoya?
Hi, Your Honor. How are you? I just got off the breakout room with Mr. Nesbitt. I got an offer, a really great offer, but my client, I can't seem to locate him on the phone. He's supposed to be in person in the.
Well, let's see if he's in the courtroom.
It's Ernest Gonzalez, Judge.
All right, just 1 second. I believe the court, they're still in the breakout room, but just give me 1 second. As soon as they finish in the breakout room, Joseph Appelt needs that room, and then you'll be next.
You take your time, Judge. If he's there, that'll be great. We can try to resolve it today. But if he's not there, maybe give me a couple of days so I can locate him, maybe go to his house or do something so we can get this thing done.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I sent you a chat.
Yes, I see it.
I can confer with Mark Darling.
Okay, thank you. Mark Darling, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
And Jeremy Dennis, you need to go to breakout room number 12. Touch your screen, go to 12.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes, someone else call my name?
Yep, yes, Your Honor, and I misspoke. It wasn't with Mr. Nesbitt, with Mr. Newman. He conferred with me and he gave me an offer, and I'm just waiting to convey it to Mr. Gonzalez, who I cannot locate, and he may be in the courtroom.
Okay, all right, we're gonna find out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, he is in the courtroom. It's just that the breakout room is being used.
Yes, all right, your client's in the courtroom, Mr. Montoya. Just give us a moment.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Eric Reynolds. You're back?
Yes, Judge. Good morning. Yes, I've got Adam Cordova, Judge. I've met with Marcus. Fortunately, my guy's got an aggravated robbery that he was out on a monitor for, and he currently has a judge's warrant out, and he's gone right now.
Okay. Well, Marcus, do you know on the 2019 CR 4194, is he still showing on bond on that case?
He is, Judge.
All right.
I looked it up this morning. He's on bond for that one and warrant for the other one.
All right. Can I have a prosecutor, please?
I'm here, Judge.
Court is calling 2019 CR 4194, State of Texas versus Adam Cordova. Can I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Eric Reynolds for the defendant, Judge.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No objection from the state.
No, Judge.
Off the record for a moment, Joseph Appelt, if you can go to breakout room number 1, to the courtroom. Joseph Appelt needs to speak with his client, Mr. Tapia. We're back on the record. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:32 a.m. Mr. Reynolds, have you had any contact with your client?
No, Your Honor, I haven't.
State?
Judge, we're asking that his bond be forfeited and a warrant issued.
All right, that will be granted in that cause number. And my understanding is the other cause number, a warrant has already been issued. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Then, Mr. Reynolds, if you don't have anything else with us, you're excused.
All right, thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, you too.
I'm sorry, Judge, what breakout room they need to go to?
Number 1.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anyone else back from breakout room?
Judge Gary Chirac and Sebastian Zamora. We have a plea deal worked out, and I'm letting Norma know that we have a deal and we're working on the paperwork.
All right, thank you. Norma, they have a plea agreement on Sebastian Zamora and it's being sent to you by chat.
Thank you.
All right, Naftali, just give us a moment. We're trying to see if it's been coded in the system yet.
Okay, Judge.
Judge, that case has been coded. It's going to the 144th.
Okay, I was gonna say, Norma, if you could check, because she just emailed me, said she was doing it.
Yes, it's been done.
Okay.
And
Just
I'll do the paperwork right now to transfer it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, for coming. Thank you for your patience. Have a good rest of your day.
Absolutely. Thanks, David. I appreciate all the hard work. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Judge, can you make me a co-host?
Let me find you. Yes.
Thank you.
Norma, what was his client's name?
Victoria Machuca.
All right. Let me just.
It's not the recall, Judge.
And you're welcome.
Thank you.
That one would not be fun.
And Norma, you said it's going to the 144th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Jackson Lindsay, you're back.
Yes, Judge, the state and I conferred regarding my motion to alter naming conditions of bond. Their position is they're not opposed. So they're not agreeing to it, but they're not opposed to it. He wanted to leave it up to the court's hands. So that's where we are.
All right. If you can send me an email with that motion, we'll take it up if everybody's ready. And Norma, can you go to a breakout room with Angela Martinez? I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
And Judge Mark Darling and I are back as well.
Okay, just give me one moment. Norma, what breakout room are you in?
I was in 12 with Lisa, because she's in there with the client.
All right, I sent you to number 3, and that's the court coordinator from Judge Carruthers Court.
But I think Lisa's in there with her client, Judge.
No, they're
No?
not. Yes, number 3. All right, and I'm sorry, who else is back?
Christian Newman and Mark Darling.
Yes.
Mark and I conferred regarding Angie Ford. It looks like she's a thug. I don't know if we need to do a bond forfeiture on her state jail case, but she's a post-indictment thug on a new drug case.
Okay, let me see. Is there an Angie Ford on the Zoom? Mr. Darling, have you had any contact with Ms. Ford?
No, I reached out to her and haven't heard back. And that represents a change because you know, I had been maintaining contact, but she didn't contact
All
me.
right, to the courtroom. Is there an Angie Ford in the courtroom?
No, it doesn't.
No, Your Honor, there's not.
All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 5580, State of Texas versus Angie Marie Ford. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Christian Newman for the state.
for the defense?
Mark Darling, present, ready.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:38 a.m. For the record, the defendant has not appeared on the Zoom screen. The defendant was informed of this setting on May 4th, and she was informed to be here at 9 a.m. Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, has there been an Angie Ford in the courtroom?
Because that's.
No, Your Honor, she has
I'm
not.
not just trying to get out.
Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I've contacted her, but she has not contacted me, no.
All right, state?
State moves for forfeiture of the defendant's bond.
All right, that'll be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If you have contact with your client, the court will reconsider if your client presents herself by tomorrow for jury trial.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you're excused. All right, Jackson Lindsay, were you able to put your email, send me your motion by email?
I did. I sent it to the email address I had, I guess, back when you were with the district attorney's office. I don't know if the email has changed or not, but I sent it.
All right, just one second. I'm printing it.
Okay.
Raymond Martinez, you're back.
I am, Judge. We have not reached an agreement on Mr. Samaniego, and I've been told that we have jury selection in the morning in somewhere.
All right, just give me one moment. Isidro Are you there? Isidro, I'm sorry.
That's fine, Judge. Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, if you could go to breakout room number 1 to the courtroom, if you could have Ernest Gonzalez to go to breakout room number 1, please.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right, and I'm Patrick Samaniego. All right, Patrick Samaniego, we're going to recall your case for tomorrow for trial. Raymond, you all need to be in court at 9 a.m.
In the 187th, Judge.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Judge. See you in the morning.
All right, bye-bye.
Can I get a breakout room with my client
Yes,
before we leave? Yes.
of course. Let's see, Patrick Samaniego, I'm going to send you to number 4. It appears your client is in breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Everyone, just give me a moment. Raymond, I sent you to breakout room number 4.
I'm sorry, Judge. I forget I'm on a different device. Sorry.
That's okay. All right, Michael Sawyer, hello, how are you doing? Welcome.
Hey, John, doing great. How are you this morning?
Oh, doing great. So who do you have?
I have the Travis Devich, and I've been conferring with Tom Nesbitt. We emailed Tom a email yesterday, didn't have a reply.
Okay. All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Judge, when you have a few minutes, can I speak with you in a breakout room?
All right, everyone, just give me a moment. Breakout room number 3, please. If you go back there, I'll join there. All right, who is the person with Mr. Hernandez?
I think it's Gary.
Gary Churek?
Yes, ma'am.
Your client is David Hernandez?
David Hernandez. I believe Mr. Hernandez if I'm not mistaken, is in the hospital being psych evaluated for
No, Mr. Hernandez is on the screen.
Oh, okay.
He's already been evaluated.
Okay, all right. I have a different one. I'm thinking of some other people.
Yes.
Okay.
So do you wish to speak with Mr. Hernandez?
I didn't even have him on the docket this morning, Judge, because my notice was this for Mr. Zamora on the Zoom.
Mr. Hernandez, can you start your audio, please? All right, he's going to go get some help. All right, Mr. Yes, he's gone. All right, could you help him start his audio, please?
Yeah, you got it. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Mr. Hernandez,
Yeah.
are you staying in contact with your doctor?
I saw him yesterday.
All right. So what I'm going to need you to do for me, I need you to continue to see your doctor, okay?
Yeah. Do you want me to go to the program? To help
I
me
need you to do and follow the instructions of your doctor, okay?
That's it? I
Well,
know.
we-
I know what to do. I do that.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, your attorney is Mr. Gary Cherrick. He's here. So,
Can you and I go into a breakout room real quick on this one?
yes.
All right.
Just one moment. Do not touch anything, Mr. Hernandez, and I need you to remain quiet, okay?
My grandpa's coming.
All right, I'll see you to breakout room number 3. Gary, could you go to 3, please?
Sure, ma'am.
Anyone else need to confer on a CTD case?
Marcus, can I see you in breakout room number 2, please? All right, thank you. All right, Mr. David Hernandez. All right, Gary Churek, do you have Mr. Hernandez's contact information? And you're on mute, Gary.
I have an address, an email, and a phone number.
All right, so Mr. Hernandez, your attorney will be in contact with you with your next setting date. So I'm gonna excuse you. I want you to take care of any health issues that you have, okay? All right, so I'm gonna excuse him. And Mr. Churek, you'll receive an email from the court coordinator on his next setting date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, anyone else ready or back from the breakout rooms?
Your Honor, Joseph Appelt here. May I approach briefly?
Yes.
I've confirmed with Mr. Tapia.
Yes, Joseph, and then I'll take you, Michael.
I've confirmed with my client, Mr. Tapia, and he's telling me something different than when we conferred and reviewed the evidence in the video in my office. He is of the position that, based on what he's telling me, I need to file a motion to suppress, which would be dispositive with respect to his Fourth Amendment rights.
All right, Mr. Tapia, where are you?
And could we do that as just a dispositive motion, Your Honor, without a trial? Because if I get him on the record to state what he wants, what he's telling me now is that if you believe that his Fourth Amendment rights were not violated, that he will then plead to this, he won't have a trial. I need to get that on the record too, Judge, okay, if we can do it that way.
All right, is he waiving a jury trial? Is the state going to agree to a bench trial if Mr. Tapia decides to still continue with jury trial?
Well, and this is where what Mr. Tapia is telling me now, and I have to make it clear, he said, he is telling me, his words were, he wants the judge to look at the video to see if his Fourth Amendment rights were violated. If you feel they were not, and the officer is in the right with respect to the law and the Constitution, then he will not have a trial. He will enter a plea to the court. But if you feel that his Fourth Amendment rights were violated, then the evidence seized afterwards would be suppressed, and therefore there would not be a need for a trial or a plea. The case would be dismissed. I've had lengthy conversations with him with respect to this, and he is taking a position today that he wants the court to view the video to see if his Fourth Amendment rights were violated. I've given him certain advice, which I believe is consistent with not going to trial. And while he agrees he doesn't want to try it, if the evidence comes in, he is adamant that he wants to see if, basically it's a motion to suppress, Judge, that would be dispositive. He would enter a plea afterwards is what he's telling me today.
All right, Mr. Tapia, after today, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements. Do you understand?
Okay.
So you're going to be scheduled for jury trial. You need to be here tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Okay, but what does that mean if no plea bargain?
That means that, what that means is I will not accept any plea bargain agreements after today.
Okay, and if it goes, I say guilty, then what happens since there's no?
If a jury were to find you guilty, then the next question would be, did you choose to go to the court for punishment or did you choose to go to a jury for punishment? I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney and let your attorney explain those issues to you. Courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please.
Your Honor, is it possible to have a dispositive motion to suppress in your court?
No.
You would run that with the jury trial?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and the other option then would be to have the motion to suppress and waive a jury for a bench trial if the state would agree to do that. Is that correct, Judge?
That is correct.
All right, let me explain that to Mr. Tapia again.
All right, Mr. Sawyer.
Hi, Judge. I've conferred with Tom Nesbitt. I just need to go to a breakout room with Travis Devich.
All right, Normie, could you have Mr. Devich? Mr. Devich, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. And Mr. Sawyer, if you could go to 3, please.
I'll do it, Judge. Thank you.
Robert Diana.
Thank you, Judge. Just log back on to see if Mr. Reyna appeared.
All right. To the courtroom, is there a Christian Reyna in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor.
Is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Judge.
Court is calling 2020 CR 5073, State of Texas versus Christian Reyna. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
Robert Gaona.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:58 a.m. Your client has not appeared on the Zoom screen. Deputy Laura, is there a Christian Escobar Reyna in the courtroom?
Understandable.
No, Your Honor, he is not.
But I'd rather.
Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Judge, I had contact at the last setting. I had a phone contact that same day. Since then, I have not had any contact. It appears that his telephone number is a text-only number. Possibly, but I did send a text and I did send an email notifying of the court dates. And I believe the court ordered him to appear in person today.
Yes, the court did order that, and I'll note for the record that the court ordered on April 27th for the defendant to be present today for jury trial. State?
Judge, they would ask for the bond to be forfeited and a warrant issued.
All right, that'll be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If you are able to get in touch with your client, then the court will reconsider after your client presents himself.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. If you have nothing else with us, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Ross Rodriguez.
Morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Hello. How's everything going with you? Just give me one moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Angela Martinez, I'm so sorry. Yes, you may be excused. Thank you for coming in. All right. And Ross Rodriguez, who do you have?
Judge, I have Ramsay Gonzalez. This was a recall, I believe, from Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, Judge. We ran out of time on Tuesday. We ran into after 5 p.m.
Yeah.
This is you had we're going to consider on a bond, but David was going to let you know his position and on that as well, Judge.
Okay.
He was brought over today, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, let me just check. Just give me a moment.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm trying to make it a day of rainbows and unicorns for you, Judge.
I love rainbows and unicorns and sundaes with, you know, pecans and chocolate sauce on top. Just give me one moment, everyone.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, everyone, I am back. Angela Blake.
Hi, Judge. Did Sean Smith show?
All right, is there a Sean Smith in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let me find him on the docket. All right, is there a prosecutor available? Meredith, I think you're okay. I was like, Meredith, for some reason, I don't think your audio is working. Court is calling 2021 CR 3422 and 2021 CR 3423, State of Texas versus Sean Aaron Smith. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Colin Nisbet.
For the defense?
Angela Blake.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:04 a.m. Deputy Laura, has there been a Sean Aaron Smith in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
And for the record, there has not been a Sean Aaron Smith on the Zoom screen. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I have not, Your Honor.
State?
Judge, we asked for a forfeiture and a warrant, please.
All right, that'll be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client and your client presents himself, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
And Jackson, Lindsay, I appreciate your patience. Just give me a moment to take up of the cases that are on docket.
I understand, Judge. Take your time. It's okay.
All right, thank you. Looks like we may get some thunderstorms today. All right, Isidro Montoya.
Hello, Your Honor. I believe we have an agreement. I sent Mr. Newman's going to send me the paperwork. I need to. I sent a chat. First time I sent a chat to the clerk. Let them know that we have a plea, but hopefully they'll get it. He'll plead to a JSAT.
All right, and could you send that chat to Norma Ferguson, please?
Okay, yeah, I'll send it to
She's
the
listed as
187
Ferguson
clerk.
coordinator.
Okay, I will do that. I'll try again, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then Gary Churek on Sebastian Zamora. What are we doing?
We're waiting for paperwork, Judge.
Paperwork's out, Judge. For me, it's a record deferred on the ag assault.
All right, thank you.
Paperwork's out, Judge. It should be the email.
All right, let me check my email. Oh, there, I got Christians. I don't have anything from the court.
Oh, I meant for Mr. Sandoval. Sorry, Gary.
Okay.
Gary, I'm going to chat with you for just a minute.
And Zamora is in the courtroom, correct?
Yeah, he's here.
Thank you.
Okay, plea paperwork is signed.
All right, and as soon as it comes my way, I'll sign it, and then I'll send you all to a breakout room so your client can be sworn in.
Okay, I got to go over it with them, and I still need the certificate and application and everything from the court.
All right, just one moment. All right, so Gary Churek, when you're ready to go to the courtroom, just let us know. Right now, Joseph Appelt is in the courtroom with his client. Joe Stenberg. He has left. Gerardo Flores.
Right here, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm here for Jimmy Wood. We had a sentence for today. He's supposed to turn himself in or show up in person, and just wanted to see, just check one more time if he's there, Judge.
All right, to the court, is there Jimmy Wood in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, he is not here.
All right, is there a prosecutor available?
Your Honor, I think my audio is working now. I'm available.
Yes, thank you. Welcome to the 187th District Court.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 10132, State of Texas versus Jimmy James Lee Wood. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Gerardo Flores from Mr. Wood.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will note that the defendant was scheduled to be here today at 9 a.m. It is now 11:10 a.m. Deputy Laura, has there been a Jimmy James Lee Wood in the courtroom today?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
And for the record, he has not appeared on the Zoom screen. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
The last time I had contact with Mr. Wood was a week ago, Your Honor, on Friday. And since then, I have not been able to get a hold of him. I have texted him, I have emailed him, and left several messages, Your Honor.
All right, state.
State would ask his bond be forfeited and a warrant be issued.
All right, that'll be granted. I'll remand your client without bond. If you are able to contact your client and he presents himself, then the court may reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thanks for coming back.
Yes, Your Honor. Take care.
Let me see what page he is on.
18.
I'm sorry, what page did you say? 18?
18, the PSI docket.
All right, thank you. All right, Carolyn Whitman, you're back.
Hi, Judge. Yes, I'm back. We conferred at great length and the state is going to get some additional discovery.
All right, what discovery is missing?
They have to get, this is a family violence case. So, but there are, this is a case that actually the court, we had a mini hearing on previously with the prior prosecutor because there's the complainant actually has family violence cases pending against her, at least one, where my client, this defendant is the victim. So they have to get me all of that stuff. In addition to getting me the complainant's criminal history, in addition to, he is also going to run something to see about the other calls that had come in from the residents. It's kind of everything connected to family violence perpetrated against my client, actually by the complainant.
Okay. All right, is your client present?
He is, Judge.
All right, Matthew Burke, if you can unmute yourself for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norman, can you give them a 30-day reset for discovery, please?
July 12th, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on July 12th and see where we are on this discovery issues.
That's perfect. Thank you, Judge. And then Norma, I don't need that hearing right now. We conferred a lot.
Okay, then Mr. Burke, we'll see you by Zoom on July 12th.
Thank you.
All right, you and your attorney are excused.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
All right, you two tell the puppies I say hi.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Orlando Castagnon.
Yes, Judge, I'm back from, I was in the 379th. I'm doing
All right,
a
who's your
plea.
client?
Antonio Perez.
Have you conferred with the state yet?
That's all it takes to do these cases, man.
Somewhat.
Judge, I'm on the phone. Can you put Orlando in a breakout room? And the moment I get off the phone, I'm going to go confer with him, please.
All right, Orlando, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, and is a party available or ready on Jackson Lindsay? Is there a family violence prosecutor on Adam Grossi? All right, Jackson, as soon as we get a family violence prosecutor, we will.
I'm here, Judge.
Okay. Have you all had a chance? This is off docket. He's asking for bond conditions to be amended. Have you all had a chance to review this?
I did, Judge. I spoke to him.
All right. And Jackson, is your client present?
He's present with me, Judge, here in my office, yes.
All right. This is off docket. State, are you all ready to proceed on this motion?
Yes, Judge, and we're unopposed. We leave it to the discretion. I think he's just asking for to change to no contact, no harmful.
All right. It's the complainant present, Mr. Lindsay. When I'm changing no contact orders, I need to hear something from the complainant that the complainant wants this no contact order lifted.
I understand that, Judge. I don't have her here because that would be the violation of having no contact since my client is here. I spoke to her yesterday on the phone and she expressed a lot of frustration with what's going on. I think the ADA, Mr. Garcia, just spoke to her as well, and he can tell you that I think she expressed the same frustrations with her inability to be able to contact her husband. But my Judge, a little bit about my client. He's active military duty. He's a former.
All right, well, let's do this. First off, is there going to be any objections when we start this hearing to hearsay? Mr. Joe Ray Garcia, is there going to be any objections to hearsay from Sarah Grossi?
As far as the reasoning for the bond for wanting it to be changed, no, Judge.
Yes.
No, I won't for that reason.
Mr. Lindsay, is there going to be an objection? All right, then let's take this up very quickly. All right, the court is calling night mag number 613076, State of Texas versus Adam Chandler Grossi. Could I have parties announced for the record
Joe Ray Garcia for the state.
for the defense?
Jackson Lindsay on behalf of Mr. Gross.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No.
All right, this is an off docket matter. State, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
All right, this is a motion to amend bond conditions. Mr. Jackson, it's your motion. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. The date of my client's arrest, an order was imposed requiring he have no contact with his wife, the alleged victim in this case, Miss Sarah Gross. The minute he was released from custody, he moved into a hotel. He was today. He has very limited clothing. He's maintained no contact with her. The two are married. I have talked to her myself. Without going into what she has said, I can tell the court that she's expressed a lot of frustration with her inability to contact my client, her husband. He also shares the same frustration. He just wants to be able to talk to her. That's the reason we filed this motion. I spoke to her as recently as yesterday and told her that she needed to contact the district attorney's office because things would go a lot quicker and smoother if all those parties were communicating. So, Judge, we present this motion requesting the court to alter and amend the conditions of bond from no contact to where allowing my client to have contact with his wife as long as it's not harmful or injurious.
All right, so does anybody know, Mr. Jackson, did she tell you she was afraid of him, not afraid of him?
She did not. She expressed her desire to be able to talk to him. She did not indicate that she was scared of him. She's actually just wanted to talk to him.
Here's my question though. Was the question ever asked?
I never asked if she was afraid of him. My indication from her was that she was not. But the last person she spoke to that's here today was Mr. Garcia. I don't know if he asked her that question or not.
And Judge, I'll comment on that. I did, and she said no. I also asked if there was any other incidents prior to that or anything regarding domestic abuse, and she answered no. And like defense said, she stated her frustrations and was angry that she hasn't had any contact with him since then.
All right, so what is the issue with gun possession and all of this? There are no guns in the home. Is that true or is that not true?
I don't know. I can find out in 2 seconds if you give me a second.
Thank you.
Judge, there are firearms in the home, but he's made arrangements or can make arrangements to have them removed.
Because someone should have ordered a no possession of firearm based upon this offense. Now you're saying he's military.
That's correct, Judge.
My understanding is in the code, there is an exception for military for use of weapons, but he's not engaging in military offenses at his house. So there should not be any weapons in the home. And those need to be removed.
Okay.
And
Okay, we can make those arrangements. He's assured me that.
Mr. Garcia, does the defendant have any priors?
Let me pull it up again, Judge. I don't believe he does. As far as our system in Bear County, no, this is his only case.
All right. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right. I need to see your client's face.
Yes, Judge. Hang on.
And he needs to, yes. Mr. Grossi, is that how you pronounce your last name?
It's gross, ma'am.
Gross? All right, Mr. Gross, you're charged with a violent offense. I don't take it as true because I haven't received any facts on this case. But what I'm being told by your attorney is that your wife wants to have contact with you. I'm being told by the state that your wife wants to have contact with you and that she's upset, I guess, that this process is continuing. And I'm also being told by the state that she is not afraid of you. So I will amend the conditions for it to be no harmful or injurious contact with Sarah Gross, but you are not to possess any weapons or ammunition at the home. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, because you're in the military and there is a rule in the code section and there is a law that says you are allowed to have weapons for your job. So you are allowed to have weapons, but those weapons are not to come home, and those weapons are only to be used on the base, or you are only to be in possession of them on the base. So there is no driving home with a gun in the trunk of your car or secured. You understand?
Mhm.
So I'm granting your motion. No harmful or injurious contact with Sarah Gross. No possessions of weapons or ammunition at home. Defendant allowed to possess weapons and
Your Honor-
ammunition
Oh, sorry, Judge. I'm sorry.
on base only. Of course, it goes without saying, if that something ends up happening, God forbid, we end up in a war and you're sent off, of course, you will be allowed to possess weapons on the battlefield. But in Texas and throughout the United States of America, and wherever you may travel, if you are not on a base, you are not allowed to be in possession of weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And it goes without saying there had better not be any more issues. I don't take this charge as true because I haven't heard any evidence and it hasn't been indicted, but I don't want to hear any more issues. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
13, 10, and 8. They live with my ex.
Okay, so do you have any children with Miss Gross?
She has wed stepchildren.
Okay, and what are their ages?
14, 11, and 10.
Again, I'm not taking any of this as true, but all of this stuff that happens impacts children. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
So let's make sure that it is a peaceful household so that they can enjoy their childhood and not have to deal with this nonsense that adults are bringing into their life. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else, then the record will be closed.
Thank you, Judge. May my
You're
client, I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tom, you wanted something?
Yes, Judge. Antonio Perez to breakout room 2, please.
Judge,
All right, Antonio Perez, where are you?
Right here.
All right. And you said breakout room number 2?
2.
All right,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Perez, you'll go to 2. Norma, yes.
Thank
can you send one of the clerks in with Frank Sandoval to swear in client, please?
And what breakout room is Sandoval in?
I think he's
Number 10. All right, to the clerk, if you could go to 10, please.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Michael Sawyer.
Hi, Judge. I just need to get a line away for Tom Nesbitt and I know which one of the plea offers I want. It will be plea, it will be done. We had 2 options. I do let him know which option we're taking.
All right, if you'll go back to breakout room number 3.
We're waiting 3.
All right, thank you. And Tom Nesbitt, if you could go to breakout room number 3, please. Joseph Pelt on Jeremy Tapia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, what are we doing with Mr. Tapia?
Mr. Tapia, he's now telling me that he wants a jury trial.
All right,
So,
Mr. Tapia,
and
I'm gonna,
may I ask you, Judge, would it be possible, and I'm not sure how you would run it, to hear the motion to suppress before the jury trial, or would you prefer seating the jury and then hearing the motion to suppress before all the other evidence, or just run it with the trial?
it will be run with trial.
Okay, and that's what I explained to him. Okay.
All right, Mr. Tapia, we will see you in court tomorrow at 9 a.m. for jury trial, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're excused. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Chief. May I be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Norma, can
Thank
you
you,
give him a
Judge.
reset letter? Don't let him leave without signing something that he needs to be dressed for trial, please. He needs to make sure and come back.
Yes, ma'am.
And everyone, just give me a moment to sign some paperwork, please.
Okay. Okay. So I'm basically gonna put you on standby, meaning that the response will let you know.
Judge, are you free at the moment?
Just give me 1 second. Let me see, who is on Zamora? Who's the attorney for Zamora?
Gary Chirac.
It's Montalvo.
All right. Deputy Laura, on Gary Churik's client, could you go to the court? I'm sorry, could you go to number, let me find it there. If you go to number 10, so his client can be sworn in.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right, yes, David Martin.
Could we in 15 for 30 seconds?
Yes. All right. If attorneys could go to number 15.
Okay.
All right, is there a Jason Keys on the Zoom screen? Jason Keys.
Yes, Your Honor, present.
All right, Mr. Keys, you're going to need to be in court tomorrow at 9 a.m. for jury trial.
Court, 9 a.m.
Yes.
I'll call you, Jason.
Court on the 4th floor.
Okay, got it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Are we excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Michael Sawyer, did you get a chance to speak with Tom?
I did, Your Honor. They're preparing the paperwork now to download it at the jail and give me my copies. It will be a plea, Judge.
All right, thank you. Do you need to be in a breakout room with your client now, or you want to wait?
I've already covered everything with him. I've told him if he has a problem with any part, but when he gets it, I'll go back in the room with him. But I've covered line by line, every part.
Mike, who's doing your
Mark,
paperwork, Mike?
Marcus is.
Okay, you're good. All right.
Let him know that your option for dropping the repeater, so.
Gotcha. All right, thanks, sir.
Kathy Starling? Kathy Starling.
Hi, Judge.
Hi, who's your client?
Jesse Martinez.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Family violence. I was talking to Del Rey earlier, and I was wondering if I could talk to him again.
All right, Joe Ray, there's a request for you. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5. All right, and everyone, I'm just waiting for paperwork to be delivered to me. Once I have that, we will go forward on your pleas.
Judge, Attorney Montoya needs to be put in a breakout room with his client who's in the courtroom.
All right, courtroom. Oh, he's with the courtroom in breakout room number 4.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem. All right, Joe Stenberg. And he's walking away. All right, and Norma, can you see if we can get John Young in here, please?
Yes, I called him earlier. He said he would be here in about 30 minutes, and that was about 11:10 when I contacted him.
Okay. Jesse Rivera, you're back.
I'm back, Judge. I had to go to other Zooms at 10 o'clock, but I got those taken care of.
Who do you have?
I have Adrian DeLeon, Judge. You had sent me to breakout room number 10, but nobody ever came on, and then I had to take off at
All
10.
right, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It's family violence, Judge.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Ross Rodriguez, Ramsay Gonzalez. He's on the Zoom screen.
Yes, Judge.
Just one second. And you filed a motion, is that correct?
Judge, I believe this was a request from when we had the hearing when he pled out, Judge. And then we brought him back over on, I believe it was Tuesday, Your Honor, after probation saw him. And then you put David and I together to talk about it.
All right, to the clerks, could I have all of the files on Ramsay Gonzalez, please?
I know part of the issue, Your Honor, was that Norma had to look up all the violations on when he was on bond, Your Honor. And then the violations were sent to David and I.
Okay.
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room really quick?
Yes. Breakout room number 1, Rebecca.
Okay.
All right, everyone, just give me a moment.
I just wanted to be upfront with the court. There were 6 violations, Judge.
Definitely, Ross.
Okay, Ross, I have a cracked stamp. And so I'm being told, and when I say a cracked stamp, I mean that in the best possible way.
Yes, Judge.
Rebecca, she was able to call everybody, on probation, the powers that be that she needed to call.
Yes,
and
Your Honor.
his evaluation, the first step in his evaluation is scheduled for tomorrow.
Oh, is it tomorrow, Your Honor?
Yes. So if we can, I can recall this back, and let's recall it back in 14 days to see where we are. But my understanding is it's scheduled for tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I can't recall him tomorrow, because if I do, then it's going to show, much like some of the breakout rooms show empty when people leave, it's going to show that he's unavailable to start the process for evaluation. So if you don't have any objections, Mr. Rodriguez, we'll recall this in 14 days to see where we are.
Yes, Your Honor. I know it is set for June the 30th, or if I'm not mistaken, or the 28th for PSI.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess 14 days would put us on the 17th, Judge.
Let me see what Norma says. Norma, can you recall Ramsay Gonzalez? It's not on the docket per se, but can you call this back in 14 days?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second.
And it's just for the update on the evaluation. I can give you a case number.
No, ma'am. I already know that case number.
Okay.
Judge, you want to come back on the 23rd or the 21st?
I think the 21st.
Okay.
Is the 21st okay for you, Ross?
The 21st is fine, Judge.
All right, we'll come back on the 21st.
Oh. Judge, give me 1 second, Judge. On the 21st is going to be bad timing, Judge, because that's when we pick another panelist on the 21st.
Okay, can we do it maybe the day before? Oh, sorry, that's a Saturday, Sunday.
How about the 17th, Your Honor?
Hold on first. Give me 1 second. I can't do the 17th. I can possibly do maybe the 18th, but I don't think you'll be ready by then, or I can do the 25th.
Let's just do the 18th and see where we are.
Okay.
All right, is the 18th okay, Ross?
Yes, Your Honor.
All All right, so we'll come back, Mr. Gonzalez, on the 18th to see where we are.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, do you need to speak with your client, Ross?
If I could, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to a breakout room. When you finish with him, if you could bring him back to the main room, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, anyone else ready?
Your Honor, I just signed,
All right, just one second. John Young.
I just signed in.
All right, your client is Debnap.
Yes,
Is it criminal trial or family violence?
criminal trial.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 5. All right, Kathy Starling, yes.
Yes, Your Honor. And I'm sorry about my internet connection. I'm out here in Karnes County, and so I don't know if it's the courthouse or the county. But we do have an agreement for Mr. Martinez. We would like to request to do the plea today. He is out on bond, and we would ask to reset for sentencing. And
All right, if you just get the paperwork together, let the court coordinator know what the agreement is.
Okay, and should I get a date for Norma for sentencing as well?
No, let's do this first, and then she'll tell me what day it is.
Okay.
So, and if you let the court coordinator know what his email address is, please.
Okay, I will put that in the chat. And I'm guessing we're gonna need to come back at 1:30 because
Not if everybody get their paperwork done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will try. It's the internet connection out here is just not good.
Okay, you
It's-
should be sitting where Dan Rodriguez is sitting because he's in Karnes County. And I'm telling you, it looks like he's on 5G or something. David
Really?
Martin, are you still here? Didn't I tell Dan Rodriguez he was on 5G?
Yeah, I think it's because she's standing under a metal walkway. It's probably inhibiting her.
Oh, yeah. And then in the conferring room is also metal. So that must have been it because I was in the conferring room with the attorneys earlier.
The hallways work great.
The hallways. Okay, I'll go down one more flight of stairs.
Okay, thank you. All right, and Isidro, has your client been sworn in?
No, Judge, not yet, but all the paperwork's been submitted.
All right, is your client in the courtroom?
Yes, Judge.
All right, to the courtroom. If you will go to breakout room number 6, please.
Yes, Judge.
And I'll send some clerks to number 6 to swear you in.
Thank you, Honor. Judge, can I confirm how many days Mr. Gonzalez has in jail?
I'll send you to number 6 with the clerks.
Thank you, Judge.
Let me just find you on the Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, who are the parties on Sebastian Zamora?
That'll be myself and Gary Churek, Your Honor.
We're
All right,
present, Judge.
And Gary, is your client in the courtroom?
He is.
Courtroom just has been sent to a breakout room to get somebody sworn in.
Judge,
Just
do you
give
want
us
me
1 second.
to tell Luca just to go to the courtroom and free up the computer?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Judge, do you need us, Mr. Zamora?
Yes, please. Right, the court is going to call 2019 CR 7807, State of Texas versus Sebastian Zamora. Do I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Christian Newman.
For the defense?
Gary Churek.
And are you Mr. Sebastian Zamora?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
The court will note for the record that the defendant is present in the courtroom. This is one of the days the court is allowed to have in-person appearances. Mr. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand
ma'am.
it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Affidavit of Admonitions and Waivers. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargaining agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargaining agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right for jury trial? The right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargaining agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargaining agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is, Your Honor.
Mr. Zamora, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your fine be assessed at $1,500. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
There have none, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be a top evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Laura Terrazas, Terrazas, and Diamond Garza, including any indirect contact through family members. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charging the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Bid offer states one, all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them and did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just that the court followed the plea bargain agreement, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Zamora, how old are you?
I'm 25, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am. I have a daughter that was just born on December 1st of last year. She's currently like 5 months and a couple weeks.
All right, and who's the mother of that child?
My girlfriend, Sakina Smith.
So your girlfriend, you have a child with her, and then you're living, just in 2019, you were living with Laura Terrazas.
No, ma'am. I was living in my own apartment. They came into my apartment.
Well, it says here in her written statement, Laura Terrazas stated she had gone to help out her niece who had called because she was having trouble with her live-in boyfriend, Sebastian Zamora. Who is this live-in girlfriend?
It's Diamond Garza. She was spending the night at my apartment, ma'am, and they came over to my apartment.
So you're saying Diamond Garza was never your girlfriend?
No, she was my ex-girlfriend. I have a current girlfriend right now that I just had a child with.
And you're saying in 2019 that wasn't your girlfriend?
No, yes, she was in 2019, yes.
All right, so do you see the issues here where you have a child who you say is going to be, what, 5 months soon, and then you just came out of a relationship with Diamond Garza? Have you seen Ms. Garza since this incident?
No, ma'am, not ever since I got out. I've never spoke to her, never talked to her, nothing, ma'am.
And you all don't have any children together, correct?
No, ma'am.
So there's no reason for you to have any contact with her or her relatives, right?
No, ma'am. I've never had no contact with them after that. After that, the day that the situation happened, I've never talked to them after that.
All right. If you're drug tested today, what will the results be? And I'm asking you this question because 1, you will be drug tested today. And 2, I'm trying to figure out what conditions to set for you so that you will be successful on this deferred adjudication. So if you're tested today, what are the results going to be?
Just a little bit of marijuana, ma'am.
All right, people always just a little bit of marijuana.
Yeah, it's because I was a heavy smoker like about a year ago, and I've calmed down a lot. So like within these past situations that I've gone in and back out of jail because I accidentally missed my court date because my daughter was I had to get everything ready for my daughter around November. So during that time, months before that, I was contacting my bondsman. I was checking.
No. We're on this. You using just a little bit of weed.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I used to smoke a lot. Like 2 years ago, I was a heavy smoker. I'd smoke, I'd say 7, 8, 9 blunts a day. Now I smoke at least just a piece of a blunt every like month.
Well, you know, there's something called COVID.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just a little bit, ma'am. But
all right, so
yes,
here's the
marijuana.
thing. There's something going on in this world called COVID. And if you're smoking just a little bit of blunt, that means that you're sharing it with somebody. And that means you're passing on germs.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, Your Honor.
And you have a 5-month-old who doesn't trust me. a 5-month-old, when they're born into this world, I'm sure if they could pick their parents, who
Well,
knows who they would pick. But here's
I
what I'm
actually
telling
stopped
you.
smoking.
But here's what I'm telling you. Your daughter doesn't want a parent who's smoking blunts, even just a little bit. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So this is how children learn. They learn by imitating and mimicking what they see. So if there's profanity in a household, guess what the first words your child is going to speak? It's going to be profanity. If you're doing blunts, even just a little bit, and children see that, they're going to think it's okay. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you are going to have to start being a better role model for your child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where do you work?
Right before I turned myself in, I just stopped working. I used to work at Swiftwater's car wash. I was a car wash attendant, but I had a situation there where they didn't like me. So right now I'm currently remodeling houses with my father.
All right. So how far did you go in school?
I made it all the way to my senior year. The only thing that kept me from graduating was I failed my math tax test.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court's going to follow your agreement, 4 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with Diamond Garza, Laura Terrazas, $100 hours of community service restitution, or it will be waived if you obtain your GED or complete and obtain some sort of certificate from some sort of trade school. When I say trade school, don't go to one of these fly-by-night schools that are just taking your money. My understanding, there's a big demand for welders and plumbers. Now, before you spend all your money doing that though, make sure that you will be allowed to do that with this criminal history. I was a defense attorney before. I had a client who went to prison for murder. He got out of prison and he's straightened up his life and he's a welder. So you may not have that much problem getting that done. So just look into it. I'm going to order proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or supervising minors. I'm going to order parenting classes. Mr. Zamora, are you able to Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there's going to be regular Zoom reporting with probation or in person. So if something happens and you can't regular Zoom, you need to report in person. And I'm going to want UAs, tests for levels, random field visits 2 times per month. So your levels should be going down. And Rebecca, once you test negative, then it can just be random UAs. Or if you want to do the patch, you can do the patch. The patch is easier as far as time constraints, but the patch costs more. And probation will explain it to you. Rebecca, is there anything else Mr. Zamora needs?
Were you going to do the fine and the affirmative finding of a deadly weapon?
Thank you. There'll be a $1,500 fine. That will be probated. And there's affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Mr. Zamora, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Zamora, if you can be patient with us, please. Put some patience in your pocket. I have other pleas that I have to take up. And they are receiving probation. Just one moment. Let me check, Rebecca. Yes. Aaron Pouch. If you just give us one moment, Mrs. Zamora, don't leave the courtroom. Probation is going to go over conditions with you. And Mr. Chirek, you can go to the breakout room with your client and wait for probation, or either you're excused.
I'm excused. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. Who's the attorney on Aaron Pouch?
Your Honor, good morning. Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Mr. Pouch.
Okay. Who's the prosecutor on Pouch?
It was Mr. Martin.
Yeah, I got it, Judge.
Court is calling 2020 CR 0160, State of Texas versus Aaron Pouch. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Your Honor, good morning. Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Mr. Aaron Pouch.
Thank you.
And I believe Mr. Pouch is on mute. If I could just remind him to get off of mute.
All right, Mr. Pouch, if you could unmute, please.
I'm here.
Yes. Are you Aaron Pouch?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
On behalf of Mr. Pouch, no, Your Honor.
Mr. Pouch, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, Mr. Pouch, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Pouch, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you weigh the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes. Actually, well, the indictment, yes, but we are waiving the enhancement paragraph.
Any objections to the waiver?
No objections to the waiver of the enhancement allegation, Judge.
Mr. Pouch, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with is assault, family choking, strangulation? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record for a moment, Mr. Devich, if you could go to breakout room number 6 and could the clerks go to breakout room number 6 to swear Mr. Devich in?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Pouch, did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison
Yes, ma'am.
and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do believe so, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, yes, Judge.
Mr. Pouch, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. The state opposes your applications. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, the BIPP course, $100 to an approved family violence center under 42A.504. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Actually, Your Honor, let me just have one moment to chat with Mr. Martin about one element of it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I will send you to the breakout room.
Thank you, Judge.
Let me find out where you are. All right, Mr. Sandoval, if you'll go back to breakout room number 10.
Thank you,
And
Judge.
David Martin, if you will go to 10. And Rebecca, on this case,
Yes, ma'am.
there's going to be a need for a PSI. So those are all of the conditions that they're requesting. And I'm going to end up ordering a TAP evaluation. So if you want to go to a breakout room and go over conditions with Mr. Zamora, you can.
Okay, perfect.
All right, to the courtroom, could you go to breakout room number 1, please?
And just send him in there if I'm not back yet.
Yes, I'll send him there. All right, John Young, what is happening with Mr. Debnap?
I would say that he still wants a trial. We have elected to go to the judge for sentencing if he is convicted. We're ready.
All right, Norma, can you put Mr. Debnap, could you unmute for me, please?
Hello?
Who's the prosecutor you're working with?
Marcus.
All right, Mr. Debnap, we're going to call you for jury trial tomorrow. You're going to be brought over. You will be dressed for trial. And at that time, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Norma, can you make sure that Mr. Debnap is brought over tomorrow? And if you could order that he's dressed for trial.
Your Honor, he is not, does not have any appropriate clothes at the jail. I'm going to go to Goodwill and get him some. Do I still need to submit a letter to the jail asking them to allow me to exchange clothes?
All right, we'll find out before you leave.
Your Honor, that is a yes for Mr. Young's question.
All right, that is a yes.
Yes, I am. Then I'll take that with me.
All right, thank you. All right, Norma, can you, Mr. Debnap, do you have any other questions for the court?
No, ma'am.
Time and where?
Sorry, what?
What time and where?
9 a.m., the 187 District Court.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Debnap, we'll see you then. Norma, can you let them know that LK can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, John. Have a good one.
You too, madam.
I think your
Going to
Magnolia.
enjoy being-
I think your Magnolia is enjoying the rain.
Judge, he still has
My
one more client.
magnolias are going nuts. They've been going nuts for 4 weeks now. I was afraid we were going to not start trials without my magnolias being there.
Okay.
He has
All
one.
right. And Norma is telling me that you have another client. Who's the other client?
It's Fibers, I think.
I'm sorry, you went out.
Your Honor, she is in the courtroom.
All right. Who do you need to confer with on that case? It's Makisha Cyphers.
I can confer with anybody or I can talk to her. My first question is going to be for her.
Okay. Let me rename you.
And then, Judge, once you get that, can you and I go meet Orlando Castagnone in breakout room 7, please?
Yes. All right, John Young, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5. Let me just find you on the screen. There you go. All right, and everyone just give me 1 second.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yes.
May I come back?
I cannot hear you. You're not connected.
Judge, I talked to her earlier. She told me that she was in Beeville and she needed to be, I guess, make her meeting by 12:15. And so she's going to ask if she can come back at 1:30.
All right, we'll see you back at 2. All right, everyone, I'll be back. You're welcome.
Sandoval,
Yes.
what's that rocket doing in your office?
It is a Lego Saturn was it 19 spaceship that that my son put together.
Oh my, I'm impressed.
I wouldn't have the patience to do that.
How old was he when he did that?
Probably 18 or 19. Right now he's working on a 5,000 piece Roman Colosseum Lego set.
Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Call me sir.
Okay, Joe, sorry.
Hey, did they break for lunch?
I don't know.
No, just hold on. No, we did not break for lunch yet.
Oh, okay. Let me get back to breakout room number 2.
Jack? Oh, I was like, Jack, can you break for lunch? Oh, okay. Been done.
Your Honor, Miss Cyphers never came to the breakout room with me.
She's in the courtroom.
We couldn't because the breakout room was being used, but we're gonna move you right now.
Okay. You can go back.
Hey, Norma, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm finally in a place where I have decent internet, but if you chatted me back, I missed all of it.
Okay, if you give me just a moment, I'll chat you. I'm just doing some paperwork right now, so I'll chat you back in just a few minutes.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. I just wanted to let you know because it like disappears when I get kicked out, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Love you.
Okay, now just
This is Frankie.
Hello, Mr. Sandoval.
And if you just want to check with me back later, it's just been that kind of year so far. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just try to make contact.
Of course.
Keep in contact.
No, I appreciate.
Are you ready on Mr. Pouch?
Yes, Your Honor. And I appreciate the court's courtesy in allowing
Oh, no problem.
clarification, and Mr. Martin can confirm this. It was a clarification on the state's position as to Mr. Pouch's application for community supervision.
Right, and what is the clarification before we go on a record?
It's to be silent, Your Honor.
Okay, is that correct, State?
Yes.
All right, we're going to go back on the record. In 2020 CR 0160, there's been addition to the paperwork. According to the plea, the state is to remain silent on the defendant's application. Mr. Pouch, did you understand with the affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? You need to unmute, sir.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right, did you also understand you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Okay, who is with all of this rumbling? I don't know where that's coming from. Okay, now it's quieted down. All right, defense, could you unmute? Have there been any such motions?
There have not, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is asking that you have no contact with Tony, T-O-N-I Turner. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Offer states one in the attachments.
Any objections?
Judge, we've previously been given the opportunity to review this evidence and this exhibit. No objections.
Mr. Pouch, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. All right, Mr. Sandoval, will there be a TAP evaluation needed?
Your Honor, he is currently, and I'm not speaking out of turn here, he is currently on probation out of Kerrville. And all of that is being done and monitored. It is a drug case that he's on probation out of Kerrville on, but if the court sees it fit, we have no objection. He's on good status there in Kerrville, but whatever in the court's wisdom feels is necessary.
All right, Mr. Pouch, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right, have you ever used drugs before?
Ma'am, I've had history with drugs, and I have turned my life around, and I have my business and my future ahead of me, and I've pretty much straightened up my life. And I'm 53 years old, and I've got good things going for me right now.
All right, Norma, can we set this for a sentencing date? He's on bond. When would we come back?
Is he gonna have the PSI done or anything, Judge? I'm sorry, was it?
Yes.
Yes, okay, give me 1 second. He can come back on July 13th, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on July 13th, and the court will make a decision on your application at that time. State, do you anticipate the complainant will be here or no?
Let me check.
And where do you live, Mr. Pouch?
I live in Kerrville, Texas. I used to live in San Antonio. We were together for 5-6 years, and since then I've moved back to Kerrville.
All right, Mr. Pouch, let me explain something to you, and your attorney will probably tell you this. I used to always tell my clients this. I would tell them, listen to the question and only answer what's being asked,
I got you. I understand.
because your attorney may not want you to say certain things.
Yes, ma'am.
But I would like to say, Your Honor, if anyone wants to bring a cake on the 13th, that is my birthday. So we'll be happy to
Aw,
celebrate.
Happy
We'll be happy.
birth month.
We'll be happy to celebrate. Hopefully, good news for Mr. Pouch, and not to influence the court, but also, a good day.
All right.
39. I'll be 39 for the upteenth time.
Oh, well, congratulations. Have a good one. I'm going to send you to a breakout room, Mr. Pouch.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Rebecca, could you go back to breakout room number 1, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, I left my client in breakout room number 2, if I can be sent back to him. And can I just advise him that we're going to be rescheduled?
If you'll have your client come out of breakout room number 2.
Okay.
Judge,
And Mr. Sandoval, I also sent you to breakout room number 1. And yes, David?
I don't believe she'll be present unless she wants to do a victim impact statement.
Okay, all right. And who are the parties on Devich? Prosecutor?
Judge, I can do it.
What was the question, Judge?
The attorneys on Devich.
Oh, I can stand in for Marcus.
Okay, thank you. Court is calling 2019 CR 11188, State of Texas versus Travis Miles Devich. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Aaron Morris for the state.
For the defense?
Michael J. Sawyer.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection from the state.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Devich, could you unmute, please? I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance. I'm sorry, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Sawyer, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Devich, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, it appears that you're proceeding on count 1. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, waiving count 2 and waiving the repeat enhancement.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Devich, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand what you're charged with in count 1 is possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 2A, 400 to 400 grams. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Did you understand?
Yes.
And up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Devich, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count 1. Punishments be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There are no applications. State will take in consideration 2019 CR 11211 and 2021 CR 3209. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court.
Yes.
Mr. Devich, did you understand that?
Yes.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
I have not, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged in count 1. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Off the record for a moment. Rebecca O'Brien. Rebecca
Yes.
O'Brien. Who is
Yes.
your attorney?
It's James Tochi.
All right, so Miss O'Brien, you can go to your 5th graders graduation. How long is that going to last?
I believe an hour.
All right, then I'll have you come back here at 3:30, okay?
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
All right, and if something comes up where you're later than 3:30, that will be okay with the court. Your daughter is gonna remember that graduation, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you back then.
Have a good day.
All right, you too. State, we're back on the record. State, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
Yeah, for states, one of the attachments, Judge.
Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Devich, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be submitting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Everything the court needs to know is in the paperwork before the court, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your plea bargain agreement. The court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration 2019 CR 11211 and 2021 CR 3209. Mr. Devich, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to jury trial, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
And also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? Mr. Devich?
Yes.
Do you understand? All right, Mr. Devich, good luck to you, okay? Have a good rest of your day. Norma, you can let them know 14C can go back. Mr. Sawyer, thank you for coming in. Tell your brother I said hi.
Am I gonna get credit for my time I served already?
Yes, you will receive credit for any time that you've served, okay?
Do you know how much time? Do you know how much time that is?
If you want, I'll send you and I'm going to send you and your attorney to a breakout room with the clerks, and the clerk will be able to let you know that. So you'll know before you go.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, if you go to breakout room number 5, clerks, could you go to number 5, please?
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor,
And
Madam.
just 1 second. And then let me find out where you are, Michael.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sending you to 5. Tell your brother I said hi.
Well, sure will, Judge. Have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you. You too.
Judge,
Mr.
can they leave
Just
from
a
the breakout
second.
room?
Just a second. Mr. Devitt, if you can click in and go to number 5. All right, and Norma, I'll send you to number 5 with them. All right, Brenna, I know we stop at 12:30, but are you okay to take one last plea?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, who are the parties on Ernest Pena Gonzalez?
Mr. Montoya, Judge, Sid Montoya. And Ernest is in the courtroom.
And who is the prosecutor?
Mr. Newman, Christian.
See yourself up there.
I can jump in, Judge.
All right, thank you. The court is calling 2019 CR 13282, State of Texas versus Ernest Pena Gonzalez. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Hunter Morse for the state.
For the defense?
Isidro Montoya, Honor.
And are you Ernest Pena Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will note for the record that the defendant is in the courtroom. This is one of the days where the court is allowed to have in-person hearings. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
None from the state, Judge.
There's no objection, Judge.
Mr. Pena, I'm showing you what's entitled, I'm sorry, Mr. Pena Gonzalez. I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, it is.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? It appears that you're going on the lesser included offense of theft, 750, but less than 2,500.
That is correct, Judge.
Any
That is correct.
objections?
No objection, Judge.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Affidavit and Waivers. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, it is.
State is proceeding on the lesser included offense of theft, $750, but less than $2,500 as a Class A misdemeanor. Range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of theft, $750 to $2,500. Asking that your punishment be assessed at 5 days in the Bexar County Jail. There are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Correct.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. The judgment is satisfied, Judge. He's got 7 days.
All right. State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes. Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense of theft, $750 but less than $2,500. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
State offer states one attachments, Judge.
There's
Any
no
objections?
objections. There's no objections, Judge.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you
Yes.
electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty of theft, $750, but less than $2,500. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 5 days in the Bexar County Jail. Give you credit for any time served. Court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we're off the record. Mr. Pena, how old are you? Mr. Pena Gonzalez?
I'm 40.
What are you doing stealing scooters? Somebody couldn't enjoy downtown because there was a scooter missing. They probably wanted to rent that scooter and they couldn't because it was at your house with you and other people trying to disable the GPS. So why are you stealing scooters of all things?
I have no answer.
Oh, the answer is because you thought you could get away with it. So again, you should be old enough now to know that you should not take what does not belong to you. Somebody worked hard to start that business and get scooters for people to ride around on. And you're stealing scooters, and somebody on that day probably didn't have a scooter to ride that they were going to pay for because you stole it and you took it to your house. Do you have children? Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
You are not being a good role model or example for them. Do you understand? You're teaching them that it's okay to steal and it's not. Don't take what does not belong to you.
Understood.
Do you want me to go to your house and take some things?
No, I don't.
Then you shouldn't do it to others. Good luck to you. Don't steal anymore. That's my class for you.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take our lunch break, everyone. We're going to be back at 2 p.m. I'm going to stop the live stream. Everyone have a